People have been commenting, why are you wearing all the bloody tweeds and stuff? A tie. I'm an author now, I'm dressing like one. I'm going for that J.R.R. Tolkien look. So I give myself a pipe. Anyway, most of you all know that I have this book out, and you came anyway. And some of you will have heard some of these stories. I'm going to read a few for the folks at home. Just because, if you don't know what the book is, if you've not heard me rant about it, I spent 10 years on the road with my brother Stan. We played here many, many times. This club is a huge part of our lives. And people who were around the club at that time, Rick and Lorraine Lee and Bob Frankie, just wonderful, supportive, beautiful people, Sally Rogers and Howie Burson, and Bob and Rayanne themselves, who just took such good care of us. And anyway, so one of the reasons I wrote the book was I wanted to kind of shine a light on those people. I wanted to shine a light on people who come through our lives, and give you an idea of what it was like for us to be traveling through three guys in a van, in this stinking, horrible old van. One of us had lost a half a tin of sandwich at some point during our journey, and we never did find it. And it was just this ghost of a tin of sandwich. It just kept reoccurring, and we got an exorcist in, it didn't work. Anyway, I just wanted to just let you know what it was like, and how, under what difficult circumstances we were able to create the music that we did. Stan's songs were so beautiful, and the band was really pretty damn powerful, and the records don't really reflect it, but we were one hell-raising act, and in the midst of chaos. I mean, police chases and drug arrests and alcoholism and massive amounts of soft and hard drugs. And I mean, maybe you probably are not aware of the fact that my brother Stan spent a night in jail he was waiting to be charged with attempted murder. He just came down off stage after an audience member one night and went after him with a mic stand, and wasn't here. There was a biker bar up in northern Alberta, but that was the kind of life we were living. And, we weren't fit for polite society. So, anyway, there's other nicer things that happened to us, and one of them was the Mariposa Folk Festival up on Toronto Islands during the 70s, and we met a lot of great acts up there, Odetta and Tom Paxton and the Red Clay Ramblers, and just all kinds of folks. It was first where I met Archie Fisher and all kinds of people. So, I kind of going through a list of people that we ran into that year, and this is sort of the end of the chapter. But 77 was the year that Pierre Ben Suzanne unleashed his dazzling guitar technique and his bee-stung lips and brown doe eyes onto an unsuspecting world. He was a breathtakingly good player and raised the bar for all of would-be fingerpickers in North America. He had a weird effect on women. They would see him and something would happen to their inner ears, and they just had to lie down and loosen their clothing. He boasted to me during that week and that he had slept with over 80 women so far on the tour. He'd only been over for a couple of weeks. He was raising the bar for everyone. I heard a story about him sometime later, how he had done a concert in the Midwest, and afterwards all the hot players had raced over to where he was being billeted and set up to lay in wait for him. As the story was told to me, all the players opened their guitar cases, put on their finger picks, tuned up, and watched the door. This was their big chance to go up against the new gunslinger in town, and so they waited. And they waited some more, and after a couple of hours, the beer ran out, the pizza was gone, and people started to drift out into the night and go home. Finally, just as the host was wondering whether to call the police and report a missing French-Algerian guitar god, the door blew open, and there he was. He had a bottle of brandy in one hand and a handful of brandy in the other. He had found some floozy in a satin dress somewhere, certainly not at the folk concert, not wearing those shoes, and was now eager to celebrate his newfound friendship. He waved the bottle vaguely in the direction of his room and said, "I go to bed now." And then he lurched across the floor, kicked the door open and flung his new love inside, kicked the door shut, and As was told to me, for the next couple of hours, it sounded like somebody was beating a carpet with a baby pig. It was at Mariposa in 1974, I think, that I first ran into Ramblin' Jack Elliott. He was standing next to a side stage. I was standing next to a side stage, watching Stan play his concert and waiting to join him for the last few tunes. Stan was singing Tom Rush's version of Galveston Flood with his guitar on his lap and using a kitchen knife as a slide. When Jack walked up to me, shook my hand and introduced himself, and as he did with everyone, began a stream of consciousness monologue, seemingly without taking a breath. Well, hey now, how you doing? I've been up for the better part of a week now, no damn sleep, and goddamn if I can figure where the hell I'm supposed to be right now. I was doing a show in Hong Kong, and I remember a plane, and there was some palm trees, but I thought it was Singapore maybe, but I guess it was Hawaii, I don't know, maybe it seemed like it anyway. There was girls who were all wearing coconuts, and I was supposed to be in Toronto. Where the hell is it anyway? It's a city, isn't it? I saw the airport. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is over there, look at that. I never knew it was out on an island like that. Say what? You mean we're on the island and the city's all on the shore? Well, that makes more sense. So I look what that fellow's doing over there, playing the guitar with a kitchen knife like that. Sounds real good. I saw Brian McGee do that a few times. We played a show together in Glasgow back in, oh hell, I don't know, maybe 68 or so. Boy, people love their Indian food over there. That's your brother, huh? And he played the fiddle? You know what? He played the fiddle a bit too, but not a lot of people know that, but he did. Anyway, nice meeting you. I gotta go find my guitar. It's around here somewhere. Off he went. Next time I ran into him was 1989, backstage at the Winnipeg Folk Festival. I was waiting in line for lunch and heard that familiar high-pitched voice. I turned around and there he was, wearing that big dove-gray cowboy hat and the neckerchief, and talking as always 18 to the dozen to some startled random stranger. He might have sensed he was being watched as he turned around and looked at me. He gave a start and yelled, "Garnet! Garnet Rogers, my God, where the hell did you come from?" He ran over and tried to lift me off the ground in a crushing bear hug. "My God, it's so good to see you, man. Where the hell you been?" "Jack, it's great to see you too. I can't believe you remember me. We met for like maybe 5 minutes back in the early 70s. Hell yes, Toronto, wasn't it? And that big fellow with the kitchen knife and the guitar. Well, you know me and my brain, but yes, I remember you good. How you been?" So it was Old Home Week, and I was pretty chuffed to be greeted so warmly and in public by a legend. A batshit crazy legend, but a legend. Listen, Jack, I'm so happy to run into you. I'm just going to get some lunch, and then you and I are doing a workshop in a couple of hours. I'll see you then, okay? "Well, that's great, buddy." He slapped me on the shoulder. "See you then." He shook off. We shook hands, and off he went. Maybe 40 minutes later, I was in the performer's parking lot getting a guitar out of the Volvo, and I noticed Jack pulling a guitar case out of the back of his truck camper 3 cars over. He also took out a large and highly illegal 50 caliber Sharps rifle, which he had picked up at a flea market somewhere and had felt no pressing need to declare it to Canada Customs when he crossed the border. As well, a young couple, a man and a woman, emerged, looking sweaty and disheveled and confused. He had evidently picked them up hitchhiking a few days previous, somewhere in North Dakota or Montana, and after stowing them in the back of the truck, had forgotten about them and had brought them across the border without any sort of paperwork or ID. They had no idea where they now were, nor how to get home, and the young woman was pretty upset with her boyfriend in general, and Jack in particular. It was at that moment that Jack looked over at me and once again gave a start. "Garnet! Garnet Rogers! My God, where the hell did you spring from?" And he once again ran over and tried to crush me to his bosom. "My God, it's so good to see you again after all this time. How the hell are you?" Jack, yeah, it's wonderful to see you too, but I was just talking to you like maybe half an hour ago in the performers area." He let go of me and looked a bit embarrassed, but recovered nicely. "Oh yeah, that's right. So," he cleared his throat, "how you been since then?" It was wonderful to watch the old blues players, not just their playing, but how they conducted themselves in the world. They all had immense presence and dignity, and mostly kept to themselves between workshops, sitting in the deep shade between the willow trees like a pride of lions with their black suits and stiffly pressed white shirts and skinny black neckties and carefully brushed fedoras. They all wore wildly colored argyle socks and beautifully polished shoes. In short, they all looked like $1,000,000, whereas we looked like about 37 cents in loose change and pocket lint. They would sit in a group, sipping from time to time from pocket flasks, watching the young women go by. One of them would lean over to another and say something. They would collapse, coughing with laughter and wiping their eyes. Once in a while, one of the pretty hospitality volunteers would go over to the little group with her clipboard and announce that the next workshop was in 15 minutes, and would they like a ride over?
I need money before I play.
Oh, everyone gets paid on Sunday after the last performance.
I'm not playing until I see the color of your money.
One of the other gentlemen leaned over, whispered something, and they both broke up laughing. But, sir, the payroll trailer doesn't open till Sunday. You'll get paid then. Stan and I drifted over to better watch and eavesdrop. This is what they call a teaching moment.
No pay, no play.
But sir, the performers all get paid after the show. Nope, I do not play unless I have the cash missing in my pocket. These were guys who had seen a lot more grief and nasty venal shit than we, with luck, ever would. Years of traveling as unwelcome intruders in their own country and not being able to sleep in decent hotels or any hotels, period. Not being served in restaurants, living on bologna sandwiches in the backs of cars, knowing they had no recourse. If anything, a dishonest club owner, an overzealous cop, or just some good patriotic Southern Christian in a white robe happened to take a dislike to them. They had learned their lessons, and it didn't matter how much peace and love and patchouli oil was floating around. They had been burned too many times. The volunteer would keep trying to move them, and finally meeting a blank wall of resistance, and would eventually give up and run to find the festival director. Negotiations would begin again, and finally the director would bow to the inevitable, pull out a roll of bills, and begin to calculate. Okay, 5 workshops plus an hour-long concert divided into your fee equals, and the portion of money owed for that next workshop would be carefully counted out into the gentleman's hand, where it would be counted again, folded into a diamond-studded money clip, and safely tucked into a pants pocket. He would then pick up his guitar case and say,
All right, Missy, let's go do it.
And he would readjust his hat, climb into a waiting golf cart, flash a triumphant gold-toothed smile at his buddies, and be taken away to scare the pure living shit out of the white kids. Stan turned to me and said, It's as good as a play.